Welcome to the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate Podcast. Tom Krieger here. This is our segment on Get to Know the Team. So why don't we get into it? Well, hello, everyone. Tom Krieger here again with the TJK team over here at Keller Williams in Tucson, Arizona. I am being visited today by Daniel Strickler. Daniel is one of the agents on the team. And this is a section that we're going to call Get to Know the Agents on the Team. So Daniel, let's get into it right now.
Let's dig into it.
All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what really got you motivated to get into real estate? Because I know that your raving fans are dying to hear this.
That's actually a fantastic question, Tom. So I've got some family that's in real estate, and as a kid, I looked up to them, and I really liked the way that they had their lifestyle set up. It seemed that they had a lot of freedom, while still made a decent living.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, goodness gracious. Nobody wants to hear about me. No, I'm originally from a farming community tucked into the Appalachian Mountains there, and just grew up very humble backgrounds. So it's not too much to tell other than small town, down home roots. I mean, if you've seen the Andy Griffith Show, you know where I'm from.
Okay. Marry a high school sweetheart?
Oh, God, no. No, I did not marry my high school sweetheart. I actually married a lovely young lady that I worked with. So,
all right, interesting. Yeah. Any children?
2 kids. Got a 9-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy.
Fantastic.
So they keep me busy.
All right. Well, Daniel, part of this interview is to kind of get a little sense of your business, where you're at. So I'm going to ask you that right now. Where were you before you joined the team in reference to your real estate career?
That's a good question. Before I joined this team, I was actually on a different team, and then I tried to go independent and quickly found out that I didn't have the money to market and compete with the big boys in town.
Okay.
So it was a very smart idea to join a team again.
Okay, excellent. And when you first got into real estate, were you originally on a team, or did you start out by yourself and then go to a team?
No, I started with a team originally because I didn't have any experience in the real estate industry. And, I thought that the team would be the best way for me to learn the business while still having a little bit of security and kind of a safety net on the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went out on your own because, like a lot of team members, you think it's,
it's the grass is so green out there.
Well, I don't think, realistically, I don't think all agents do that. I think they just feel that, it's time to see if I can fly by myself. Yeah. Right. And honestly, some agents do.
Yeah.
They do it fine. And then some agents are like, that's a lot of hard work by myself.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a whole lot.
Maybe I can lean on somebody to take some of that workload off, that to do the activities that don't really generate the income, but have to be done, right?
Yeah. If you're an independent agent, you're going to find yourself doing 4 or 5 different jobs, as to where if, you're with a team, you're down to just one job, and that's making sure that your client's taken care of and that they're getting the best value possible from your services.
Yeah. So you can focus more on those income producing activities, like being with your clients versus
Absolutely.
sitting at your computer, right?
Absolutely.
So you were wise to realize that. So Dan, I'm going to ask you a real straightforward question. Can you share a moment when you realized that joining this team was the right decision for you?
So I actually thought about a few different teams out there, and what made me want to join your team was a deal that we had done together.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered how you actually put your client ahead of your own needs and fought me tooth and nail to make sure that they got their stuff together. So that was an admirable moment. And I said, hey, seems like a guy I'd like to be in business with.
Okay, well, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. So sometimes our actions really do speak louder than our words,
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. Hey, everyone, we want to interrupt this episode to let you know that we are a Keller Williams Southern Arizona franchise.
We are also realtors practicing equal housing. Now let's get you back to the podcast.
So how is joining this team help that impact on your life of maybe freeing you up from all of that other activity to be able to do the activity that really I think you and most agents like?
It's that's a good question. So I do like the aspect of having a transaction manager who I think is awesome. I give her a call, everything's done and taken care of. She'll shoot me an email. There it is. And then, of course, our man behind the counter here, or camera, excuse me, our man behind the camera here. I really like having the marketing department on staff and not having to chase down photographers or reach out to this person for a floor plan or this person for a Matterport. It makes things a lot more simplistic having everything in house.
Okay. And what opportunities for personal and financial growth have you found with the team or
So,
helped you overcome maybe?
so the big growth thing is learning a different side of the business, more of the investment side of the business, how to pay attention to zoning to see how it could potentially benefit a client. If you don't know where your zones are, you really aren't doing your clients a good service. In addition to that, if you don't know what your CC&Rs and different rules and things are on the backside, you could be missing out on a killer deal for your client. So I've learned the investment and kind of the build from the ground up with a piece of raw land side of the real estate here, and it's been beneficial.
Okay, good. So, Daniel, can you talk about a challenging time you had recently where the team's kind of been able to step in and help you out?
Oh, well, real estate's one of those things, it's alive like the theater. So, there's always going to be a challenging time. The big thing is that having more experience, and having other people around you that may have experienced what you're up against and help you to find an answer and solve the problem with a lot less headache.
Okay. So, any particular one?
Oh, goodness gracious, I could go on and on and on about
Okay.
particular ones. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just having that more people around to bounce ideas off of and to be able to have that feedback and to say, hey, you big dummy, did you think about this?
So, Daniel, here's another question. I think I really would like to hear the answer to this one is, in what ways has our coaching and training helped you to advance your career?
So the coaching is definitely been good because it's brainstorming sessions. For lack of better words, I mean, with somebody else that's been in the business, that's looking at it from an outside that says, "Hey, let's try this. This is what's working. Try this instead of what you're doing," and that's made things a whole lot easier as well.
How do you think our marketing approach sets us apart from, let's say, other agents or even other teams in the real estate industry in Tucson?
So I gotta say, I don't know of another team that does more marketing for their clients out there. That's definitely a set apart in its own self. I like I say, I was with another team, and they didn't advertise on near as many websites, and they didn't do some of the other things that we do for our clients without charging extra.
What are some of those?
So floor plans, our videos for our houses. Goodness gracious, great marketing department, professional photos, YouTube channels. I mean, our social media marketing. I mean, I could go on and on for hours about that. Oh, and then another thing is that having our marketing guy on staff here has been awesome. Let's say that I've got a buyer that I've been trying to find a house for. I've reached out to him and I've said, "Hey, this is what I've got going on. I'd really like to go and door knock on this neighborhood to see if I could find a house for my buyer." And the next thing you know, I've got a flyer in my email, and then I'm off to the races.
Oh, awesome. So, Daniel, tell me a little bit about how you're keeping your axe sharp so you don't have to take as many swings to cut the branch.
That's a good question, Tom.
Yeah.
So every morning as a group, we actually sit down and we talk more about our negotiation skills and how we can better serve our clients through that practice there. So every morning for about an hour, we'll take and get into a group, and we, just like you said, sharpen our axe and practice our negotiation skills. So that way we can make sure that our clients are getting the most for their house, or that they're selling, or that our buyers are getting the best deal negotiated.
Okay, perfect. So, could you describe how being on the team has helped you with your investments and or building, structuring for generational wealth?
Well, again, I'd have to say, learning the investment side, and then, it's kind of funny because I looked at the house that I just sold here a few years ago and like near fell over when I'd noticed that it had doubled in value.
Yeah.
And I'm going, there's no way that it's done that, so being on the team has definitely helped to see more of the bigger picture of what's going on in real estate and not so much just in one particular area.
So what would you say to someone who is thinking about getting into real estate or maybe is just considering a career in real estate versus going independently and as a team member?
Don't. No, I joke. So, Tom, that's a great question as well. I mean, you're on fire with the great questions today. I love it. So there's a lot of great aspects about being on a team. You don't have the overhead like you would if you were an independent agent, and you don't have to pay for the support on the backside. So there's a lot of savings in being on a team. And then with the way that they're set up, there's definitely the coaching and the training to be able to, as you would say, sharpen your axe and better yourself all the time.
Okay, great. And how do you, as a real estate agent, as a father, as a husband, how do you balance the freedom along with the flexibility that we're given in this industry?
I definitely try to stick to my calendar. So while I'm at work, I have a calendar laid out that I stick to. And then after work hours, it's my family time. I will still answer my phone and make sure that clients are taken care of and that kind of thing. It's definitely helped out a bunch, as some of you might know out there, and many of you might know out there, having kids is not an easy task.
It's a job all by itself.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's a double job. But it's, when you run into those little instances in life that pop up, and they will pop up, it's good to be able to say, okay, I can reschedule this and I can take the day off to make sure that this is getting taken care of and, schedule it for another day.
So how are you having fun on the team? I mean, what activities are you doing that you have fun on the team?
I tell you, one activity that's been fun on the team is doing some of our different social events. So we did a trunk or treat here, in October, just 2 weeks before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty fun. We dressed up. We did up a big whole decorations out of the back of your Jeep, as a matter of fact. So I did like that a bunch, and it was cool seeing all the kids come around in their costumes and, me, and I took off through the crowd and I'm just shaking hands and kissing babies, know?
There were a lot of people there, about 5,000.
It was.
That's a lot of people to meet. Okay. Finally, what's the one piece of advice you wish you had known before entering into your real estate career?
I mean, there's a lot of different things that I'd wish I'd had advice on. I didn't come from that background that was overly educated, and I wish I would have known more about the way that finances worked and the way that real estate does appreciate. It's just because it's one price today, it could be double the next week. So I wish that I would have had a little bigger background in finances and economics before getting into real estate, because it's been a huge learning curve, learning that side of the business to be able to help somebody with one of the largest decisions in their life.
Okay.
Really, it has. Yeah.
Well, Daniel, I want to thank you very much for coming in today and for sharing. This is really important to me as the team lead, but I think it's also important for the public to really hear what it's like to be a real estate agent, a solo agent, an agent on a team. Maybe you are an agent on a team right now. Maybe you are a solo agent. Do you want to get off the team? What are the pitfalls of coming off a team? What are the pitfalls of going on a team? So,
and if you're looking to go independently, I can attest to this myself, friends out there. Make sure that you have a full year of your bills in your bank account. Otherwise, I wish you all the luck in the world.
Well, with that, we're signing off from the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast. Look forward to talking with you again.
Thank you for listening and watching the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast here with the Tom J. Krieger team of Keller Williams Southern Arizona. If you are interested in buying a home, selling a home, or even investing in real estate, we have 5,000 agents across the country that we can connect you to. If you need any free resources, feel free to check out our website at www.thetjkteam.com. We hope you have a great day.